Can we start?
Yes, we can start.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathānvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhitam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanvitam Cha Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bante Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Indulekha Mataji, for doing the Mangalacharan so beautifully. So we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 2, Chapter 10. Chapter 10 is Bhagavatam, is the answers to all questions. And the text for today is text 5 and 6. Prabhuji will join us a little later. He has a meeting at the moment, so we can read the text and translation and purport and deliberate till he comes. Would anybody like to read the text 5?
Let me get the book, Mataji. I'm a bit lost. I haven't
Okay, no problem.
Yet.
No problem.
So you said Canto 2, right?
Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 5. Maybe I can start the Text 5 and then you can, by then you would have got the book and you can do Text 6 then.
Okay, it's 2.5 point?
No, 2.10.5.
Okay, 2.10.
0.5.
Okay, 0.5, okay, 2.10. 2.10, 7, 2.10.5, right?
Yes.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayasya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavate Cham Slokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we are on text 5. Avataranu Charitam Harer Tasyanu Paratinam Pumsamisa Katha Prokta Nanakhyano Pabrihitaha. So what do we read? Is the word to word or the translation? What do we do?
Yes, we start with the word to word and
Okay.
then we do the translation and purport.
Okay. Avatara, incarnation of Godhead. Anucharitam, activities. Hare He, of the personality of Godhead. Cha, also. Do I have to tell and you repeat, Mataji?
It would be nice if devotees could repeat it so that we learn how to speak Sanskrit. I personally really get benefit from doing that.
Okay. Okay. So I'll start again. Avatara,
Avatara,
incarnation of Godhead.
incarnation of Godhead.
Anucharitam,
Anucharitam,
activities.
activities.
Harehe,
Harehe,
of the personality of Godhead.
of the personality of Godhead.
Cha, also.
Cha, also.
Asya, of his.
Asya, of his.
Anuvartinam,
Anuvartinam,
followers.
followers.
Pumsam,
Pumsham,
of the persons.
of the persons.
Isakataha,
Ishakataha,
the science of God.
the science of
God.
Prokta,
Prokta,
he said.
he said.
Nana,
Nana,
various.
various.
Akhyana,
Akhyana,
narrations.
narrations.
Upabrimhitaha,
Upabrimhitaha,
described.
Described.
Translation. The science of God describes the incarnations of the personality of Godhead and his different activities together with activities of his great devotees. Purport. During the course of the existence of the cosmic manifestation, the chronology of history is created, recording the activities of the living entity. People in general have a tendency to learn the history and narrations of different men and times, but due to a lack of knowledge in the science of Godhead, they are not apt to study the history of the incarnations of the personality of Godhead. It should always be remembered that the material creation is created for the salvation of the conditioned souls. The merciful Lord, out of his causeless mercy, descends to various planets in the material world and acts for the salvation of the conditioned souls. That makes the history and narration worth reading. Srimad Bhagavatam offers such transcendental topics of the Lord in relationship with great devotees. Therefore, the topics of the devotees and the Lord are to be given respectful oral reception.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
very much,
Krishna.
Indulekha Mataji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
think we can move on to the next text. I can ask another devotee to read the next text as we wait for Prabhuji, and then if he has still not joined, we can probably start discussing, and then by then hopefully he would have joined. Indusa Mataji, are you able to read the text 6?
Yes, I can try. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Nirido Sanusayanam Atmana Sahasaktivi Muktir Hitvanyata Rupam Svarupena Vyavastiti. Okay, word-to-word translation. Nirodha,
Nirodha,
the winding up of the cosmic manifestation.
the winding up of the cosmic
the
manifestation.
Asya,
Asya,
of his. Anusayanam, the lying down of the Purusha incarnation Mahavishnu in mystic slumber.
The lying down of the Purusha incarnation Mahavishnu in mystic slumber.
Atmana, of the living entities.
Of the living
entities.
Saha, along with Saktivi, with the energies. Mukti, liberation. Hitva,
Hitva,
giving up.
Giving up.
Anyata,
Anyatha.
Anyatha,
otherwise.
Otherwise.
Rupam,
Rupam.
Rupam,
the form.
Form,
Svarupena,
Swarupena,
in constitutional form.
in constitutional form,
Vyavasthiti,
Vyavavastiti,
permanent situation.
Permanent situation.
The translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. The merging of the living entity along with his conditional living tendency with the mystic lying down of the Mahavishnu is called the winding up of the cosmic manifestation. Liberation is the permanent situation of the form of the living entity after he gives up the changeable gross and subtle material bodies. Can someone please read the purport?
Can you stop chewing? You're so loud. I'm in the class now.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. What is happening in the Mataji?
No, I was reading the translation.
Yes. Yes. Kindly continue.
Oh, I was asking, can someone else please read the purport?
Okay. Is there a volunteer? I can read if there is no volunteer. Would anybody like to read it? Okay, I will read the purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. As we have discussed several times, there are two types of living entities. Most of them are ever liberated or nitya muktas, while some of them are ever conditioned. The ever conditioned souls are apt to develop a mentality of lording over material nature, and therefore the material cosmic creation is manifested to give the ever conditioned soul two kinds of facilities. One facility is that the conditioned soul can act according to its tendency to lord it over the cosmic manifestation, and the other facility gives the conditioned soul a chance to come back to Godhead. So, after the winding up of the cosmic manifestation, most of the conditioned souls merge into the existence of the Mahavishnu, personality of Godhead, lying in his mystic slumber to be created again in the next creation. But some of the conditioned souls who follow the transcendental sound in the form of Vedic literatures and are thus able to go back to Godhead, attain spiritual and original bodies after quitting the conditional gross and subtle material bodies. The material conditioned bodies develop out of the living entities forgetfulness of their relationship with Godhead, and during the course of this cosmic manifestation, the conditioned souls are given a chance to revive their original status of life with the help of revealed scriptures, so mercifully compiled by the Lord in his different incarnations. Reading or hearing of such transcendental literatures help one become liberated even in the conditioned states of the material existence. All the Vedic literatures aim at devotional service to the personality of Godhead, and as soon as one is fixed upon this point, he at once becomes liberated from conditioned life. The material gross and subtle forms are simply due to the conditioned soul's ignorance, and as such he is fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. He becomes eligible to be freed from the conditional state. The devotional state service is transcendental attraction for the Supreme on account of his being the source of his pleasing humors. Everyone is after some pleasure or humor for enjoyment, but does not know the supreme source of all attraction. Rasove saha rasamhi evayam labdavandi bhavati. The Vedic hymns inform everybody about the supreme source of all pleasure. The unlimited fountainhead of all pleasures is the personality of Godhead, and one who's fortunate enough to get the information through transcendental literature, like Srimad Bhagavatam, becomes permanently liberated to occupy his proper place in the kingdom of the Lord. Hare Krishna. I've just got a message from Prabhuji that he's still in the meeting, so let's wait for him to come. But till then, we can just deliberate on the first text. I can start off by reading the translation of the text 5. The science of Lord describes the incarnations of personality of Godhead and his different activities together with the activities of his great devotees. So here it is talking about Isha Kataha, which is the science of God. And I was just listening to one lecture in which they said that there was a video of a peacock being attacked by a dog. And then somebody saved the peacock and nursed the peacock, and the peacock was good, back to normal. So, and he took that video and he posted it online, and there was so many people sent likes for that video, and so many people saw it, lakhs and lakhs of people. And obviously, people like such things, especially a success story like that. But the devotee who was giving this lecture said that how many people see the video of Gajendra being saved by the Lord, and how many people send likes. So I think we, and the answer was not many. And I think we are conditioned. We are conditioned to not listen or not think it is important to talk about the Lord and his what he has done. So therefore, he has to keep on taking incarnations and remind us of who he is. But we are so conditioned, the soul is so conditioned to just enjoy whatever gives them pleasure, which is not related to God. I mean, I'm sure in this group there are not many people who don't enjoy the stories of the Lord, but generally I am one of them. I mean, I like, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to enjoy just listening to mundane things, and now I've realized that those are mundane things, and what should give us the most pleasure is the various stories of incarnations of the Lord. Does anybody have anything to add?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you for your realization. Yes, we have the Lord have unlimited incarnation. We have so many names of the Lord. Now, if we take the preliminary, like the most famous avatars, we have 10. Most prominent avatars, we have 10, right? It starts by the Matsya, which is the fish, Kacha, which is the turtle, Matsya Varaha, which is the bow incarnation, and then Narasimha, half man, half lion. Then we got Narasimha, then Vamana, the dwarf, and then we got Pashuram, the one with the axe, and then we have Krishna Balaram, Lord Balaram, Sri Ram, and then Krishna Balaram. And then we have Buddha and Kalki. These 10 prominent avatars, they are mentioned, right? But again, we have like, if we are reading this now, it will start with the incarnation. I don't know if it's already, if you have already come across them, but in Canto 2 and 3, we'll have so many incarnations. And these are like the expansions of the Lord. They are not we are not the Lord himself to come. You know, you have the Lord himself to come, and we have the partial and portion of the Lord, like Rishabh Dev, like Kapil Dev. They are like portions of the Lord. So here, first we have the Leela avatars, like we have the four Kumaras, we have Varahadev, we have Devarishi Narada, and the Narayan Rishi, and we have Kapil Dev, we have Lord Dattatreya, and we have Prajapati Brahma. He's a kind of incarnation of the Lord himself, right? And we have Rishabh Dev, Ritu Maharaj, and we have Matsya, the fish, and we have the turtle, as I said again, and we have Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri, we know recently we celebrated the Dhanteras. We can come back to that. And then we have Mohini Murti, very beautiful incarnation of the Lord Krishna in the form of a woman. And Dhanvantri, Mohini, they are in the same pastime of the Lord. And we have Nrsimhadev, Vamandev, Parshuram, Vyasadev, and Lord Ramachandra. We have Krishna and Balaram, Lord Buddha, Kalkidhar, who will come. He hasn't come yet. So all these is like 24, 25 names of the Lord that we are going to see in this canto 2, right? So yes, if people want to read, we can read a lot about the incarnations of the Lord. Now here it says in some places that at the end of the millennium, when devastation happened, all the living entities we get into the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, where we rest there, and then when the Lord decides to create again, he just throws us out. And depending on our karma, we get different types of bodies, right? So some people, some living entities may take the incarnation of plants, trees, creepers. Some may take the incarnation. Some come back as birds, beasts, flies, reptiles, aquatics, and human. And in human, we have, I think, 400,000 types of living entities in human form. We got the human body, we got the Gandharva, Kinnara, Charanas, the Apsaras, all these, they are like the apes and so on, they are like counted in human form. And now what happens when, depending on our karma, and it is also said, I heard when you were reading, that only a few of us get liberation. So not every living entity will get liberation. Depending on our karma, depending on our activities that we are doing, we will get a particular body to enjoy, because at the time of death, whatever is on our mind, when we take birth again, we get that type of body. Suppose somebody likes to eat meat, and that person will become like a wild animal, a tiger, a lion, or whoever likes to eat, like a jackal who likes to eat meat all the time. So similarly, depending on that mindset at the time of death, that's why we say chant Hare Krishna, because if we don't practice, we will not chant at the time of death. If we have attachment to wife, children, money, house, cars, and so on, at the time of death, everybody will be thinking about that. Like that, there's one very famous story that my husband used to tell. That story, he would say that he went, which is true. It's not just a story. It happened. He went to a funeral, and the person died. The wife was crying loudly. So everybody was saying, "Don't worry, we will help you. Somebody said, we'll take care of your children. Somebody said, we'll take care of this and that. And somebody said, we will take care of your bank balance." Then the woman stopped crying and she said, "Who will take care of my debt?" So nobody said that. We'll take care of your debt. So that is whatever debts we have to come and pay it back. And whatever situation we in whatever situation we leave this body, we come back to continue that life again. But if we chant Hare Krishna at the time of death, we will chant Hare Krishna. We will remember that because it's on our tongue, constantly chanting. That habit will stay, right? But again, if we cannot chant at the time of death because it happened, like we have a heart attack, and then God forbid, for anyone, I'm talking about myself, right? And I fall down, I'm chanting, so the bag is gone somewhere else, tilak is gone with sweating, Kantimala is gone because I'm choking, I need air, and then I'm taken to the hospital with a big tube in my mouth, and I'm in agony, because it is said that when a person is leaving the body, it's agony as like 50,000 scorpion is biting us, right? So I'm in agony. How can I remember the Lord at that time? Unless I have chanted whole life, I would not remember. Now, with a tube in my mouth, how can I chant? So the Lord will come himself. He will come to take us because we have been chanting, because we are his devotees. But we must be very, very serious, which I am not, in our sadhana, right? So here again, we see that most of us will come back to this material world, depending. Now, if we haven't completed our spiritual life, we'll come back. We'll take birth in a higher family, in a Brahmanical family, or in a very aristocratic family. Prabhupada said that, and from there we will get the facility to continue our spiritual life. But if we haven't practiced, we will go down. We may get human form of life, but very unfavorable. We may come with some diseases, with some disability in the body, or with the capacity not remembering the Lord because we haven't remembered the Lord. So it's all depend on us, what we want to do with our life, where we want to take this life, and if we are trying, all of us are trying. Nobody is perfect devotee. We are all trying, but the Lord is seeing our endeavor. We take one step, He will take 10 steps toward us. So it's all depend on us. Let's all be serious in our endeavor to reach the Lord. So at the end of our life, we don't get back into the body of Gopala Vishnu, and then we are again thrown into this material world. Let's try to go higher. Let's try to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, so much for your realizations and the way back to Golok Vrindavan. We know that there is a process, and it doesn't come by yourself. You need to have association of your guru. Guru means somebody so heavy. So it is only because of an association with a guru that you will be able to go there, and surrendering is very important. So you take your guru as if he's Krishna, and you surrender to him, and then he will take you, he will guide you to go back to Godhead. And about bhakti, I had heard that you can have bhakti in the form of, in the mode of ignorance and passion and even goodness. So we can be doing bhakti and doing so much of charity work, and we don't have a guru to guide us. For example, in the Bhagavatam, there is a story of Daksha. Daksha is the father-in-law of Shiva, and Daksha used to be very jealous of Shiva. And he wanted to retain his material position, and that led to his degradation. Daksha did not have a guru to tell him that, oh look, you are now envious of your son-in-law, and don't be, and therefore it was his downfall. While Dhruva did bhakti in the mode of passion, like he wanted a bigger kingdom, bigger than his grandfather. But then he had a guru, Narada, who told him, look, do this, follow this path. And then he, in just 6 months, he was able to see the Lord. same Prithu Maharaj who established Dharma, and he was very, very, very angry with Indra. But then he got the association of Brahma, his guru, and he left the anger between him and Indra, and then he could perform proper bhakti to go back to Godhead. So we can be doing bhakti and we don't even realize it. We might be doing it not according to the prescribed way, and therefore a guru is very important. Also, the process is given to us. We are very lucky and fortunate that the process has been given to us. And first we should have Shraddha, and then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, then there'll be Anartha Nivritti, then we'll have Nishtha, Ashakti, and then Ruchi, and then Bhav and Prem. So there are various steps to Krishna, and it has been given to us. Our Guru can guide us with that. So I think to go back to Godhead, we cannot do it alone. We really need a Guru for it. Are there any other realizations? I know time is going, and I just got a message from Prabhuji that he's still in the meeting. But if there are any realizations, we can continue as we wait for him.
Thank you, Mataji, for your realization. Also, very nice. That all whatever we start in life, all of these start with the 9 processes of devotional service. But the first one is Shravanam. Shravanam means the hearing, listening. That is described by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7. So if we listen, then we try to understand what we are listening, right? When we listen, we hear and we ponder on it. What did we hear? What happened? So then anything when we listen, we think about it, right? Right now, election in US, everybody is thinking about that thing only. But if we hear about the Lord and we think about it, then that may help us, right? So when we listen, we hear, then we know that, okay, I have to go to Krishna, to Golok. So how do I go there? Then we find the way. Then it's a kirtanam, chanting. We keep chanting, right? We keep chanting. And then Vishnu Smaranam, we remember Krishna, keep on remembering what we have heard, what are we chanting, right? As you said, we need Guru. We need association of devotees, through association of devotees. Then we go to Guru, because devotees will recommend to Guru, this person is serious, he's coming to the temple, or he's helping, or he's following the classes, he's reading, he's chanting. So then Guru will try to understand, to take under his shelter this particular person. And the person also, it's not like somebody has recommended, we just go and take the Guru as well. We have to know the Guru as well, because there's so many Gurus nowadays. So that's why association is important, as you said. And then after that, we start doing Pada Sevanam, which is we serve the lotus feet of the Lord, right? So that is, we start having a little deity at home, a picture at home, we start offering some Patam Pushpam Phalam Toyam, that's what Krishna asked in Bhagavad Gita, right? He said, give me some flower, some leaves, leave me tulsi leaves, some water, some fruit. There's 4 things we can get anywhere in the world. You don't need to be at home itself to get these things. So that is Padasevayam. And then Archanam. Then when we realize all this, we start serving the deities. When we have got the Guru, we have got the association, we have learned, then we start serving the deities. And then Vandanam, we start praying sincerely to the Lord to accept our service and to help us do it going further. And then we have Dashyam, we execute the orders, because when we start doing all these things, the Lord will manifest in our heart and we will know. I will tell you something that happened on Diwali day. It's very funny though. So then Sakyam, we serve the Lord as a friend. And then Atmanivedanam, He completely surrendered. So for these 9 processes, we have kind of example. Parshit Maharaj, he heard for the last 7 days of his life. He was doing Sravanam. He knew he was going to die in 7 days, so for the last 7 days, he just listened to Srimad Bhagavatam. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, he didn't even move from where he was. He just sat there and he listened constantly, right? Kirtanam, we know Sukdev Goswami, he narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to Parshit Maharaj for the 7 days and 7 nights. That is Kirtanam, he was chanting the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parshit Maharaj. And then we have Vishnu Smaranam, so that is remembering. So Prahlad Maharaj, he never forgot. Yeah, he never forgot Krishna despite constant tortures. He kept remembering Krishna. And then Padasevayam, we can say, serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Lakshmi Devi, she never leaves the lotus feet of the Lord. She's always massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. These are examples, right? And Archana, deity worship, we know Ambarish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, they use all their possession to serve the Lord. Ambarish Maharaj, he didn't even go to get married. He said, go get the wife here and ceremony is done, because he would not leave the temple. He was a king. He was cleaning the temple. He was cooking for the Lord. He was dressing the deity. He was doing everything. And the Lord, he was a king. So the Lord sent Sudarshan Chakra to rule on his kingdom. Sudarshan Chakra was always there. And we have also Vandanam. We know praying to the Lord. So we know when Kamsa sent all the demons to kill Krishna in Vrindavan, they could not kill Krishna. Then a Krura. Krura means somebody who is very, we can say, bad, right? A Krura is somebody who is pure. He hasn't got any badness in him. So it's an Akrura. So Akrura was offering prayers to Lord Krishna when he was going to Vrindavan. He was thinking, is the Lord going to receive me? Because he knew Krishna was the Lord. And he was even, when he saw the footprint of Krishna, he would bow down to that, he would take that dust and put on his head. That is kind of praying. And Dasyam, somebody who executes the orders, like Hanumanji. Hanumanji, he was intimate servant of the Lord, of Lord Sri Ram. So he is an example of servant to the Lord. And we got Satyam. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for taking us through the 9 processes of bhakti. Prabhuji has joined us and the time is short. That's why I'm sorry I had to cut you. So,
no, that's fine, Mataji. That's fine.
Thank you for taking us through all the process. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Sorry for ambushing you at the last minute today. And you so kindly obliged to join us today. And we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, which is Bhagavatam is the answers to all questions. And the text for today is 5 and 6. We've read them and we were just deliberating over them. Please accept our humble obeisances on behalf of everybody who have joined the group and are about to join or will listen to this discourse on YouTube. Without much ado, I hand over to you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kirtika Mataji. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
clear.
we can.
Okay, good. So this whole chapter is very foundational to understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. It also answers many of our questions that very commonly asked. And I'll point your attention to verse number 6, where Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains the whole purpose of this material creation. And I would like to invite you to think more deeply about these points. That the Lord has created this material manifestation, this material world, and he's offering two facilities. This is something very important for us to visualize in our mind, that the material world has two facilities. See, so if you look at the purport, Prabhupada explains, one facility is that the conditioned soul can act according to his tendency to lord it over. It's cosmic manifestation. And the other facility gives the conditioned soul a chance to come back to Godhead. So remember, these 2 points is very, very important. The material world is created for us. It's created for us. When I say us, who do I mean? I'm talking about those of us who have chosen to turn away from God. Those of us who are conditioned in the material world have chosen to turn away from God for the purpose of trying to enjoy separately from Him. So then, to fulfill that desire, the Lord creates this material nature, but He also includes a facility to come out. See? So He includes both. And we will find in this world, or even if you look at ourselves, we will find that we are divided. Those of us who are conditioned materially, we are divided souls. Why were we divided? Because one part of our soul, one part of our mind wants to use the facility of enjoyment and lording it over. But the other part of our soul, the higher conscious, the higher nature, is pulling us toward the other facility, which is to come back to Godhead. So both facilities Krishna gives. Imagine Krishna creates a floor in a building, and the floor has a nice big hall where you can play and you can enjoy and you can have all kinds of food and you can do all kinds of cool things on your own. It's like a room to fulfill your selfish desires. But in that floor also he includes escalator. Like in a mall, you have the escalator that takes you out of the building, upstairs and out of this building, where we can be fully free with Krishna. So both are available. The escalator is there. It's working perfectly fine. It's going upwards. You can say it's a staircase that goes up. So we are stuck in an underground kind of punishment bunker. But not just punishment. It's a kind of a bunker that also gives us some fulfillment of our desires. But it's only a partial fulfillment, because the real fulfillment of our soul can only come when we're in touch with Krishna directly. Therefore, we'll feel dissatisfied. But to satisfy that silly desire, the selfish desire, Krishna has created this underground bunker. You can say like a cloud in the sky, in the spiritual sky. So the material world, in one sense, is part of the spiritual world. It's a small subset. It's like described as a small dark cloud in the spiritual sky. Okay. So we are in this floor, and we are divided souls. One side is pulling us toward the staircase that comes out, and the other side is pulling us towards the playroom, which is also timeout punishment room. When some kids are behaving badly in class, in kindergarten, then they have a timeout room. So you need a timeout now. You're just really ruining everything, and you're making a big disturbance. So you go in this room, and the timeout room has some toys also you can play, but you'll have to be separate from all of us. So the vast majority, so I'll read the vast majority of souls are free. So I'll read the purport from the top. As we have discussed several times, there are two types of living entities. Most of them are ever liberated, or nitya muktas, while some of them are ever conditioned. The ever conditioned souls are apt to develop a mentality of lording over the material nature, and therefore the material cosmic creation is manifested to give the ever conditioned souls two kinds of facilities. You see the two kinds? You have to keep this in mind. So one facility is the conditioned soul can act according to his tendency to lord it over the cosmic manifestation. And the other facility gives the conditioned soul a chance to come back to Godhead. Now, this whole facility gets wound up periodically. Wound up meaning, it's dissolved periodically, and then those of us who are still conditioned and we want to continue enjoying, we get merged into the existence of Mahavishnu when he is breathing in. Then when he breathes out again with his outgoing breath, another creation gets created, a new floor gets manufactured. And with that new floor also, you get another new staircase that comes out. And Krishna takes incarnations again and again. He comes to the floor, he shows us how to use the staircase. And many, many devotees who are conditioned, they realize their mistake and they start using the staircase. Step by step, they move up and out of this world. And even as they're moving up and out of this world, they try to encourage others. Hey, stop this playing around in this timeout room. You don't realize this is a punishment room. It's not a fun place to be. Look in your own heart. This is a prison house where you're suffering from amnesia. It's a prison house. Yes, the prison house has some fun games. It's okay, but this is not where we belong. Yes, you might enjoy a little bit, but this is not what your heart is yearning for. Look in your heart. That hollowness you feel can only be filled by Krishna. And Krishna is upstairs. So come join me on the steps and invite everybody else. That is the job of us, those of us who are devotees, where we are also practicing to climb up the stairs while kind of promoting everybody, promoting the staircase itself. Please join us. Please join us. This is the way out. Look, we can see. If you look up, you'll see the light up there. So that is the job of devotees of preaching while practicing. And with every step, we feel the warmth of Krishna. We feel the satisfaction. Just like when you're very hungry, from the very first bite, the very first morsel, as we're chewing it, we feel immediate joy. We enjoy the taste. We feel the satisfaction in the stomach. We feel our body being nourished. We feel getting stronger. Every bite, bite after bite. So similarly, step after step, we feel that sense of satisfaction, fulfillment, nourishment, and a sense of security and fearlessness that comes with the Krishna conscious practice that nobody else and no other practice can offer, because everything else is just playing around in that prison yard. And you may think you're making progress by running from one end of the prison yard to the other, from one end of the fence to the other. Oh, look how far I've come. Look how many people I'm influencing. Look how many prisoners are my friends now. Look how many cigarettes I can distribute. Look how much influence I have with the security guards. It's all useless. All that is useless because we're still in the prison, running around in the rat race. Because even if you win that rat race, you're still, at the end of the day, you're a rat. We don't want to be rats. We want to come out. We want to come out of this prison. And that is the two facilities. To keep running around in circles is one facility. And the other facility is to come out. Krishna offers the staircase. Every single time he builds something, he offers a staircase. He himself comes down that staircase to show us, hey, you don't belong here. Come, come. You see, to cross over, to climb upward is called aroha. Aroha means to go up. And avaroha means to come down. So to cross over that barrier between spiritual world and material world is called tar. Taran. Taran means to be liberated, to cross over the river, to cross over the ocean. Tarna, we say in Hindi. In Gujarati, we say tari javu. So tara means to cross over. When Krishna crosses backwards, ava means backward, it's called avatara, where he crosses downwards to pull us out. Therefore, his incarnation is called avatara. And he has many, many avatars, see, where he's coming in the opposite direction. Why opposite? Because all of us should be going upwards. He is coming downwards for our benefit. He's coming down the staircase, say, hey, look at this staircase, it's very nice. And then his representatives, they carry on his message. Even when he's gone back, it's not visible to us, but his representatives who have woken up to this staircase, they keep sharing, spreading the word, giving joy to everybody who even just joins that project of climbing up the stairs. And so it says over here now in the purport, some of the conditioned souls who follow the transcendental sound in the form of Vedic literatures and are thus able to go back to Godhead, attain spiritual original bodies after quitting the conditioned, gross and subtle material bodies. So you see how the staircase works? That if we follow the sound vibration, which is what the staircase is made of, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that sound vibration of the mantra of the holy names, the sound vibration of the instructions in the Vedic literatures, what to do, what not to do, what to embrace, what to avoid, how to behave with each other, how to develop the right attitude toward God, how to purify ourselves, how to maintain ourselves even in the material world while moving upward toward the spiritual world. All that is there in the form of the divine Vedic literatures, and that is delivered to us in the form of the Lord speaking via the spiritual master. The spiritual masters, they come and show us how to live and how to follow, while they're themselves also following and giving an example of how to practice. The spiritual masters, like Srila Prabhupada came here, he's Acharya. So similarly, the representatives are always coming down. The Lord himself is always coming down. The holy name is always available to us, and that is also considered an avatar, nama avatar. The holy name has come from the spiritual stratum, the spiritual realm. Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It has come from Goloka. It is the wealth of the love in Goloka. All the love is formed into a wealthy treasure, and that forms the name of Krishna and is come down. Golokera Premadhara Harinama Sankirtana. So this Harinama Sankirtan that we do when we are chanting fully and completely, that is what? Golokera Premadhana. It is the Premadhana. It is the love wealth of Goloka Vrindavan, of the spiritual world of Krishna, which is called Goloka. See? And so the philosophy is very, very sublime. It's very powerful. It is very deep. And it is also very simple. It's not particularly complicated. We find ourselves feeling dissatisfied. We ask the right questions. Why am I feeling dissatisfied? And if we are fortunate enough to meet the representative of the Lord, then those questions can be answered. It's perfect sense. Life after life, we've been trying this particular flavor of enjoyment, that particular type of selfishness. And now we have had enough. We want the real thing. Please, somebody, I'm tired of this prison house. Now I realize it's a prison house. I'm still addicted to parts of the prison, but that's okay. At least I know I don't belong here. So please help me, my Lord, to understand where is the staircase? How do I start taking my first step? I want to now fill my heart with love for you, because that's where I belong, and that's where satisfaction comes in. So that is a process of Krishna consciousness that is being outlined here in this purport. This particular chapter is a nice summary of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. It gives a full picture of how the Vishnus are creating, and how the winding up also happens, and how liberation is available to all of us, and how we can attain the actual goal of life, which is love, pure love. So thank you very much. I'll pause over here. If anyone has any reflections, questions, comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining in today. And in spite of this small time that we had with you, you explained this philosophy so well. I open this forum up for any questions or comments. Are there any questions or comments from the group? You have been patiently waiting. Now it's your time to ask any questions, or if you have any comments. I think there are no questions, Prabhuji. I think this just shows. Yes. Was there a question?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for that short and beautiful class. My question was, I was told a friend of mine about how we seriously need to go back to Godhead, like we take all the resources that we have. And then he challenged me by telling me, now that you tell me I've been living for millions of years, why can't I just be patient with him? Maybe his time for Krishna to bring him out of this material world will come naturally, even if it's in a million years. So I don't tell him about it in this lifetime. And I was a little bit bewildered in what I should reply, because his point was his love for God will grow with time, even if it's a million lifetimes. So I should not really tell him about it at this time, because at this time he's not interested. Just like maybe I was never interested a million lifetimes ago, and that right now I am interested. Maybe Prabhuji, you can guide us maybe how I could have replied that better.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. If Krishna wants me to come to him, if he really wants me, then when he comes naturally, then I'll turn to him. You coming me and disturbing me is not going to work. You're just being artificial. I want Krishna himself to come, or when God will plan for me to naturally come, then I'll come. Right now, I don't think it's the time. Or right now, even though I'm feeling some dissatisfaction in life, you coming in and disturbing me is not going to work. This is not God's will. It is your will. So that's another angle that we hear. So I can offer one analogy. There was a flood in the city, in the town, and the town got so flooded, everybody had climbed on the roofs of their house because the water had come all the way to the roof. People had only to stand on the roof. They couldn't even escape anywhere. And so then a man was standing on the roof waiting. 6 hours had passed, 10 hours had passed. He was being hungry. He was like, what's going on? How will I save myself? And he couldn't swim. So he was praying, God, please save me, from this flood. And then another man came on a small boat. He said, come, jump in my boat. There's a space here. I'll row you across, and we'll go to the rescue center, and there they'll take you to highland, where we can wait for the flood to dissipate. In the meantime, we have food, everything. And the man said, no. I'm praying. I've prayed to God. God will come and save me. You can go ahead. So the man said, what's wrong with you? I have a boat right here. He said, no. God will save me. You go. You're not part of that God's plan. So the boatman is confused, but he goes away. So I'll save other people, no problem. Then a big ship comes. It says, look, the rescue ship now. We have hundreds of people here on this ship. You jump on. We're sending you the rope. You climb on the rope, and say, no. God will come and save me. Then these guys are also confused. They go away. Then a helicopter comes, sends down the ladder rope. He said, come on. You're the last one left now. Here we've checked everything. It's the flood is rising. You better get on the helicopter soon. Even the boats are having problems now. I said, no, God will come and save me. And the helicopter went away. Then the flood started rising, and it went higher than the house, and the man started drowning. And he says, God, I've been your devotee. I'm shouting to you. You didn't come to rescue me. Why are you doing this? And the God said, look, I sent you the boat. I sent you the ship. I sent you the helicopter. I'm the one who sent them to you. You didn't recognize my hand in that. You see? And then the man was like, oh, sorry. So you understand, right? The challenge you can give back to such a question is, how do you know that God has not sent me? What if everything that happens to us is God's plan for us, including people who talk to us, including unrelated people? How do you know this is not God's plan for you? To wake you up, to invite you to try it. You never know. So when you tell him this story, maybe they'll wake up. Now, sometimes nobody's ready for this kind of answer, but at least you can say everything happens by the will of the Lord, including whatever dissatisfaction you're having. And if you feel they are perfectly fine and happy, then we don't need to waste time with people who are feeling they're perfectly happy. You see, because either they're in denial or they actually are confused. Remember, we are not obliged to save every single person that we come into contact with. It's not possible even. Everybody has their time. And maybe he's right. Maybe he has to wait a few million lives. But we can give some examples. We can give some love. We can give some humor. We can say, hey, I'm trying my best. I think this is God's plan for you to at least think about it. Why don't you come for a program? Give it a shot. Give it a taste at least. See if you like. If you don't like it, then, There's a spiritual master here in America. You know, he used to do very successful preaching programs in colleges. So what they would do, they would stage program, they would have kirtans, they'll have presentation, then they'll give nice prasadam to everybody, free prasadam. And then when everybody is, the college students are sitting and eating prasadam, he would go around to each person and ask them, how do you like the food? How do you like the music? And if the college students are like, oh yeah, it's awesome, it's great, this is the best experience, then he sits down and talks with them. If someone's like, yeah, it's okay, I've seen better, it's kind of boring, then he doesn't waste time with them, he goes on to the next person. You see, the point is that it's not possible for us to save everybody. What our job is to find those who are low-hanging fruits, those who are ready to hear, those who are ripe, you know, because they are there, they're out there. And we are better off spending our limited time and energy behind those. See, so we should not feel bad if not everybody's ready. Vast majority of people are not ready to be woken up. Only a few lucky ones. You see, so that's what we have to kind of evaluate, and then pray to the Lord for them. Everybody we touch, we pray to the Lord. My Lord, please help him kind of change his heart. I'll try my best, and then you move on to the next person. All right, Bhakta Muga, does that help? I think you're breaking up, Bhakta Mugo. I couldn't hear what you said. The signal is not good. Kirtika Mata, are you able to hear what he's saying?
No, I thought it was my signal. My signal has been weak today. And
Yeah, I think it's from.
so even
Bhakta
I
Mugo's
couldn't
side.
hear him. But,
I think signal is bad, but I'm hoping that was a good enough answer.
yeah, I think that was brilliant. I was one of the person that Bhakta Mugo, like one of the person that Bhakta Mugo talked. So, but at least he has planted the seed, and one day, even if it is 70 years, it will fructify.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
You have to just share the love. Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments from the group?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Bhakta Mugo, we can't hear you, so it's okay. But if there are no other questions or comments, I think this verse was just showing us that creation is Krishna's magnanimity. I mean, how great he has given us that dungeon or the down floor for us to play there and realize, oh God, these toys are now getting on our nerves, and they are the same toys that we've been playing with over and over and over and over again. We need to climb up, and to climb up, we need a guru. And that was perfectly explained by our guru today, Madan Gopal Prabhuji. I think we have exhausted our time for the day. And can I request Indusa? Indusa, are you able to close the session for today? Is your internet able to do that? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, I'm not sure. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are very clear. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna, everyone again. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the brilliant class. And maybe because of time, we can do one round of the Maha Mantra for the beautiful class and all the Vaishnavas assembled. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Kalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Sindhuvayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Srila
Santaraj
Prabhupada
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Madan Gopal
Jai.
Prabhuji ki
Prabhuji ki
jai.
jai.
Hindu Lekha
Hari
Mata
Hari
ji
Bol.
ki jai.
Jai.
Kritika Mata ji ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Jai Jai.
Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
See
you
you
so
Krishna.
much.
soon. Hari Bol.
Have a very good morning. I know you are starting your day as we are ending. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Very well.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm starting right now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.